Okay, I'm gonna mention one more thing about Murray that upset a lot of people in social media world when I said it a couple of weeks ago. If you're thinking of moving to the Salt Lake area, Murray City is central to the Salt Lake Valley. It's got great neighborhoods. It's got great retail areas, commercial areas. It's got great amenities. It may just be the place you'd like to live, but is right now a good time to do it? What's the market like right now? That's what this video is gonna check out. My name is Christopher McGee. I am the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. We are with the Keller Williams Utah Market Center here in Salt Lake City. Me and my team help people relocate from all over the country to right here in the Salt Lake area. So if that's you and you're thinking of a move to this area, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna be happy to help. All you have to do is go into the description. There's a link to a Google form, fill that out, and we'll start getting things in order for you. All right, and with that being said, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start with what the supply of homes in Murray looks like right now. Now, right now in Murray, there are about 230 homes actively on the market for sale. And that is a number of homes that has been trending up across this last month. And frankly, that upward trend of homes available to buy in Murray and in the greater Salt Lake area is part of a bigger picture trend that has been moving since way back in 2022 spring, interest rates started to come up. When interest rates started to come up, that did a couple of things. It put a real damper on the number of home buyers that were in the market. We've seen that all over the country, frankly. So housing supply is trending up, and that is a point in favor of home buyers on the market. Higher supply, especially housing supply that continues to trend up, is downward pressure on home prices. You also heard me right that I said demand is pretty subdued right now. It's kind of flatlined. And when I say flatlined, I don't mean like beep, like dead. I just mean it's not trending up right now in a time period that we would normally expect it to be trending up. Hear me very clearly, this is not a slam dunk buyer's market, okay? And we'll get back to that more in a little bit, but what about these homes on the market? What are they like? What can your money buy in 2026 in Murray, Utah? In Murray right now, you can find anything from a 880 square foot, 2-bedroom condo for about $199,000. I see that actively on the market right now. All the way up to a 4,500 square foot on a third of an acre, 5-bedroom home, bathrooms you can play baseball in, and beautiful finishes throughout. The kind of finishes where, your eyes just keep moving when you walk into a room. You ever walked into a room of a real basic cookie cutter house and you're like, that's 4 walls and a ceiling and a floor, and that's all there is to it? This is not like that. Beautiful house. And this is listed at $1,450,000 by Jeff Kell with Realty Path LLC. Now, the average between those two extremes that are on the market right now here in Murray would be about $825,000, but that is not even the average price point here right now, nor is it going to be the typical experience of somebody buying a home in Murray right now. Average price point in Murray across this last month, and this is mid-May of 2026, average price point was $540K, and median price point was a little bit under that at $520K. 54 homes sold here in Murray across the last month, and across that time, the average time on market came to about 34 days. It took about 34 days once you put a home on the market in Murray before you got a buyer that you went under contract with. Now, that was a lot of data, but let's come up with a story that might give us the feeling a little bit better of what it might feel like to be trying to buy a home here in Murray right now. Okay, so John and Samantha are relocating here to the Salt Lake Valley, and John has a job with the IMC Hospital, which is the single largest provider of jobs here in Murray. And John and Samantha and their 2 kids, Rhonda and John Jr., they are looking for a nice, quiet, safe neighborhood. It's important to them to have at least 4 bedrooms. It's important to them that they have a living space both up and downstairs. And it's important to them that their house is pretty move-in ready. They're okay doing a little bit of work on it maybe to make it theirs over time, but they don't really want to hassle with any of that. They just want it ready to go. What John and Samantha want to know is, 1, can they buy that kind of home within the radius of the hospital that's important to them? And 2, as they're trying to make offers, what is that going to feel like? What's the experience going to be? Is this a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? The answer to that first question is absolutely yes. They will be able to find that kind of a home within that radius of the hospital without a problem. They'll find several options. And depending on what their tastes are and what's important to them, the price tag of that kind of home in that area is probably going to be something between $700,000 to $1 million or more. In answer to the second question, here's what you need to understand about our market right now. Right now, there are two kinds of sellers in our market. The first kind of seller is somebody who, for whatever reason, feels like they're trying to squeeze all of the possible money out of the sale of their home. While the second kind of seller is somebody who sees that the market doesn't necessarily favor them in all ways, and they're just gonna price it a little bit conservatively in order to get it done. That first kind of seller, for whatever reason, maybe it's because they have to move before they were able to build much equity in the home, or maybe it's because they're still stuck in thinking that this is a seller's market from 5 years ago. Whatever the reason, they will listen to their realtor explain to them that this is not a market heavily in their favor. They will listen to their realtor explain to them where it makes sense to position their home on the market, and they will still want to reach for the stars. They will price their home a little above what their realtor probably is suggesting to them, unless they got a realtor that just wanted to get the listing, so they told them whatever they wanted to hear. And as a result, they are waiting for the quote unquote right buyer. Unfortunately for them, the right buyer is savvy enough to see that seller of the type number 2 is down the street selling a comparable home at 10 to 50K less than what seller 1 has put their home on the market for. The right buyer is gonna go and buy something else. That's where they're gonna go. And seller number 1 is going to end up on the market much longer. They're gonna end up on the market for as long as it takes them to figure out that they've got to drop their price in order to attract a buyer. That might take 3+ months. The second kind of seller sees that the market isn't necessarily all in their favor, and so they see where their home belongs on the market price-wise, and they will price their home just conservatively a little bit under that. And as a result, they will attract the overwhelming lion's share of buyers on the market. And this creates a very interesting market right now, where homes tend to either sit on the market for a month or 2 or 3, or the homes have multiple offers, 5, 6, 7, 8 offers within the first week of them hitting the market. What this means for John and Samantha, and maybe what it means for you, is that they'll come here, they'll see several kinds of homes of the caliber that they like that have been on the market for maybe a month or more, but they're priced a little over where they want to pay. And then they'll see something come on the market. It's exactly what they want, and it's priced at what seems like a fair price, and they'll make an offer only to find out that that house has 5 or 6 other offers on it, and the listing agent tells me, your agent, that there are 5 more offers expected to be coming in within the next 8 hours. And that can feel very confusing for that to be your experience making offers on a home when it feels like this is a market that's relatively subdued. So it's a very interesting experience right now. So it may take John and Samantha an offer or 2 to understand that the homes they're interested in tend to be the homes that all the other buyers in the market are also interested in. And it's my job to ensure that that is something you understand when you come here to make an offer. Is this the kind of house that we're going to need to compete on? And if so, what levers can we pull to make sure you get the win, other than sales price, but including sales price? That's my job, and I will find out. Now, I mentioned several amenities here in Murray, and let me just list a bunch of them right here. So we got Murray Park. In Murray Park, you got a whole bunch of, you got the rec center for Murray City. You got swimming and ice skating there. You got a whole bunch of parks, ballparks and everything, all within Murray Park. I'm standing right here in front of historic Wheeler Farm Park. There's a whole bunch to do in there. Great place to take your family, by the way. Great place to take your dog on a walk or go for a run. You got Fashion Place Mall here in Murray. That's just this way, like 3 minutes to my west of where I am right now. At Fashion Place Mall, you've got New York Cheesecake Factory, you've got a P.F. Chang's. Murray has 100 other outstanding restaurants that aren't attached to the mall, of course. Also on State Street, a little further north of Fashion Place Mall, is the Auto Mall. It's just a long strip of State Street where there's all of the, not all of them, but there's a whole lot of car dealerships. You got a Costco in Murray, And the Costco is right next to the IMC hospital that I mentioned already in this video. You've got Mick Riley Golf Course. So we made a video on that and what the 1 mile radius of neighborhoods around Mick Riley is like. You've got another golf course, the Murray City Golf Course in Murray. Coming from the north and stretching through Murray on its way south is the Jordan River Parkway. The Jordan River meanders down through the middle of the valley. There's homes built around it. There's trails right next to the river all the way down the valley. You're not gonna go far to the north or the south or the east from Murray before you run into a movie theater if you want a movie theater. And by the way, Murray City has its own school district. Okay, I'm gonna mention one more thing about Murray that upset a lot of people in social media world when I said it a couple of weeks ago. And that is that recently the mayor of Murray came out and said that they were proposing a property tax hike for the residents of Murray. They were going to take their income as a city from, I wanna call it at 12.4 million a year up to 13.7 million a year, which sounds like a lot of money for one person maybe, but for a city, not all that much. And when you broke it down to the average household needing to pay how much more in the course of a year, it came down to like less than, it was like $3.80 a month. And whatever that times that by 12, it's gonna be less than $40. So in the post where I mentioned this, I actually said I was for it because what that tax hike is going toward is paying for another police officer, keeping the firemen's wages and the police officers' wages in Murray City relevant, and a couple of parks and rec type things that the money was going to go towards. So I didn't see a problem with it. I live in Murray and I don't have a problem with it. It upset a lot of people. A lot of people called me stupid for saying thumbs up to any particular tax hike, but that is something that's new and upcoming if it goes through. It was proposed, it hasn't gone through yet. So whether it goes through or not, if you move here, if you move here after it's gone through, you might pay a tiny bit more on property tax, but you should know that Utah's property taxes are fairly low relative to the nation's average. Nation's average is like 1.02% of the property value. And in the Salt Lake County area, it's more like 0.56% on average, and it can vary depending on where you are. And Murray's very similar to that spot. So that is something I thought you'd want to know. So what do you think? Is Murray a city you want to move to, and is right now the time for you to do that? Whether it's right now, 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year from now, if you're interested in it, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna be happy to work with you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, bye-bye.